Indians make up almost 1.5% of the total population in the US. But when it comes to the US President-elect Joe Biden's administration, Indians seem to be at the forefront. Starting off with his running mate, Kamala Harris, who will be the first Indian, Asian American and woman to become the Vice President of the United States. Another woman shattering the glass ceiling is Neera Tanden, who is all set to become the OMB Secretary. She will also be the first woman of color to hold this office. Another Indian American who is already part of Team Biden is Dr. Celine Gounder, an infectious disease specialist who traces her roots to a village in Tamil Nadu. She was named to the Coronavirus Task Force. As co-chair to Joe Biden's COVID-19 Task Force is also an Indian American surgeon, General Vivek Murthy. Apart from the cabinet and White House, positions in Joe Biden's agency review teams are held by Indian Americans. Agency review teams, or ARTs, are responsible for understanding the operations of each agency, ensuring a smooth transfer of power. ARTs are preparing for the President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Harris and their cabinet to hit the ground running on day one. Former Google executive and Stanford graduate Arun Mazumdar is the team lead for the Department of Energy at ART. A former state health officer for West Virginia, Dr. Rahul Gupta, is leading the transition over the Office of National Drug Control Policy. Kiran Ahuja, an American lawyer and activist who served as the Chief of Staff to the Director of the U.S. Office of Personnel Management from 2015 to 17, has been named as the team lead for the Office of Personnel Management. Former Assistant Secretary of State for the Political Military Affairs in 2014-15, Puneet Talwar has served as a top Middle East advisor to President Barack Obama. He played a central role in the back-channel diplomacy that produced the Iran nuclear deal and is focused on the Department of State. Pav Avneet Singh is a non-resident fellow of the John L. Thornton China Center at Brookings Institution and has been named two ARTs, the National Security Council and the Office of Science and Technology. Arun Venkatraman, a machine learning computer expert and graduate of Carnegie Mellon University, has also been named two ARTs, the Department of Commerce and the U.S. Trade Representative Office. Praveena Raghavan is the Executive Vice President, Division of Small Business and Community Economic Development for the Empire State Development. Meanwhile, Atman Trivedi is Managing Director at Hills & Company, International Consultants for Department of Commerce. Sheetal Shah is the Manager of the Philanthropic Engagement at the American Federation of Teachers for the Department of Education. R. Ramesh is a professor well known globally for his contributions to science and technology of complex functional oxide materials, and he's on the Energy Department team. Meanwhile, Rama Zakaria is a Senior Manager for Regulatory Policy and Analysis at the Environmental Defense Fund on Department of Energy. Raj Dey is a Cybersecurity and Data Expert for the Department of Justice. There's Seema Nanda, who has been the CEO of the Democratic National Committee, along with Raj Nayak, the former COO of Viacom 18, who will be looking at the Department of Labour. Meanwhile, Reena Agarwal is the Robert E. McDonough Professor of Business Administration and Finance and the Director of Center for Financial Markets and Policy in the School of Business at Georgetown University, with Satyam Khanna, the former Senior Legal Advisor to the US SEC Commissioner Robert Jackson, is on the ART for the Federal Reserve Bank. Bhavya Lal is a scientist holding 3 degrees from Massachusetts Institute of Technology and a nuclear expert. She's on the ART for NASA. Dilpreet Sidhu most recently worked for the US Department of State as an economic officer in Basra, Iraq, where she advanced the US political goals. She is on for the National Security Council. Meanwhile, Divya Kumaria, with an MBA from Harvard, is looking at the Office of Management and Budget. Kumar Chandran worked as the Chief of Staff for the US Department of Agriculture's Food, Nutrition and Consumer Services and is in the Art Department of Agriculture. Anish Paul Chopra served as the first Chief Technology Officer of the United States, appointed in 2009 by President Barack Obama, and will be examining the US Postal Service. While most of the Indian Americans named in these positions hold a degree or two from Ivy League institutions, this move by Biden is being seen as a way to appease his relations with India and immigrants in the US. Well, only time can tell if Biden took this step for a better governance or just for minority and international appeasement for now. And that seems like a plethora of Indians on Biden's side gearing up for the inauguration.